in today's episode of the vlog, I'll be telling you 10 things that you can be sure will infuriate Scottish people. That's coming right up after this. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to today's episode of the vlog. My name is Shaun and I'm a YouTuber from Edinburgh in Scotland. And you know what? Here at the Fringe Festival 2019, August 2019, I've met a lot of people from around the world who have come to Scotland who watch my videos. It is so amazing. Even today, just now, I met someone, right? And what I always get from people is they watch my videos to find out a lot of information about Scotland, things about Scottish people that not everybody knows, how we are, how we act, and what you should and shouldn't do when you come to Scotland, right? So a lot of people have watched my videos for tips about those types of things, which I think is really cool. And just remember guys, when you're watching these videos, they're very tongue-in-cheek, alright? You don't have to follow fast and hard rules. We're not going to stone you to death or anything like that. But that is probably the first main reason why I'm going to shoot this video right now, today, here in my car. But there are two other reasons I'm going to be shooting today's video here in my car. And here's one for you. See this right here? Blind in the camera lens. This is a little cube light that I was sent, which is going to be really handy for me to do vlogging while on the road and while traveling. It's basically a powerful light that I can put anywhere because it's so small, and it'll let me do videos because you know what, you need good lighting when you're on the road. Basically, I've never had anything like that, so that is really cool. The third reason, and I think the most important, is that, you know what, I've just checked, I am probably less than 24 hours away from hitting 100,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. That is absolutely insane. That was always my major goal when I was thinking about doing YouTube all these years ago. 100,000. That is just like, that's immense. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much to all of you guys who have hit the subscribe button over the years and who have joined my adventures. It has been a privilege and a pleasure to get to know all of you. But like I said, we're 24 hours away. We're still not there yet. We're about 100 subscribers away from the big goal. Well, YouTube will be sending me a big silver plaque to say congratulations. So if you're not subscribed, if you are new here, please don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button down below, and everybody watching, don't forget, hit the notification bell, turn them on, and then more of you will get to see these videos because YouTube might even bother to show you some of them from now on, alright? So the big 100,000, and I'm thinking to myself, right, 24 hours from now, when it actually does cross over the line to being 100,000, I'm thinking I'm going to do something. I don't know what, something big, maybe like a live feed through Edinburgh, maybe like a live chat, maybe I can go with you guys. I'll be filming live, celebrating the 100k, but also walking through Edinburgh and showing you around. What do you think? But I am open to ideas about how to celebrate 100,000 with you guys live, okay? Let me know in the comments down below, alright? All you guys who have been here since day one, the newbies, all of you, it's great to be speaking to you about all things Scotland. So let's continue this theme. 10 things that you can be sure will infuriate Scottish people. And I'm going to be saving the best ones, the most irritating ones that gets us furious, until the end of this video. You're going to want to wait until the end to see them all. Alright? So let's get going. Number one on the list. When you guys come to Scotland and talk about our deep fried food and say that we are like basically deep fried anything, the deep fried nation. And I think the problem is we've got a bit of a reputation because, you know what, fish and chips. But more so, we are infamous in Scotland for being the inventors of the deep fried Mars bar. I'm not sure if you're going to have Mars bars anywhere else around the world, but Mars bar is basically like one of your standard chocolates that we have covered in caramel. Probably has a different name wherever you are in the world, right? But it's probably the last thing you'd ever think should be anywhere near a deep fryer. Well, there you go, we deep fried it. And apparently, eating one will raise your risk of all sorts of really nasty things happen to you within minutes. But that's just how we roll, and it's given us this really bad reputation. But actually, I want to push forward this better image of Scotland because we are some of the best producers of great food in the world. It's unfortunate, the truth is we don't know what to do with it. It's quite difficult to get a good Scottish meal, to be honest, when you come here, unless you want to pay a fortune, but we do have very good produce. Great fish and seafood, and some of the best beef in the world. Angus, for example, Angus beef. We have got a great thriving restaurant scene actually here in Edinburgh, and it's great to see, right? But we do have a bad reputation, and it gets a bit tiresome when people keep pushing that button about Scotland and being the deep fried capital of the world. Kind of true though. Number two is when people constantly push us about what we wear under our kilt. The suggestive looks are not helpful, right? Hands off, ladies. Although I will say, especially during weddings, we actively encourage such behaviour. So a bit of a contrast in this, and a lot of the things I'm saying actually. Number three, and this one is sure to land you in deep trouble in Scotland, right? And it happens more often than you would imagine, is people who have come here not really understanding the makeup of where we live here, right, and saying that we are part of England. That ends up in all kinds of trouble and awkwardness if you even think about calling us part of England or saying we're in the north of England or anything like that, alright? Yes, we're in the British Isles. We are part of Great Britain and the United Kingdom, but we are certainly not in England. There are 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom, Scotland being one of them, England, Northern Ireland and Wales. Number 4, any kind of variations of Donald, where's your trousers? Or Och the new, stuff like that. You know, as soon as people find out you're Scottish, if you're at a party, for example, they will come out with one of these bizarre phrases and we're just supposed to, you know, put our thumb up and smile. Och the new, Jimmy. It's a bit of a novelty doing this video in the car tonight. You know, I thought I'd be testing this light out, you know, because if it gives me good lighting in the car, in the pitch black, it'll be good lighting anywhere. But like, there's some bizarre things going on, like a red light that keeps appearing up there behind me. It's all kinds of madness going on. But anyway, let's just roll with it. Okay, Andy Murray, right? And this gets heated. Andy Murray is a tennis player, right? In Scotland, we don't have much to hang on to in terms of sports. I don't know if you know this, but we're terrible at football. We're terrible at rugby. We're terrible basically at every sport. But Andy Murray has done us proud because he won Wimbledon, he won the Olympics, and he's a bit of a national hero, right? So when they try and take that off us, by saying Andy Murray of Great Britain, it is a little bit irksome, especially when he loses and then they revert back to saying he's Scottish. Andy Murray, when he's winning, is Great British. When he's losing, Scottish. How about that? That just rubs us up the wrong way, okay? Don't do it. Andy Murray is a Scottish hero. Nothing more can be said about that. Number 6, when people come here and infer that we are all backwards country bumpkins with no electricity and no running water. And I remember people even saying things to us, don't you live in mud huts still in some places in Scotland? No, we bloody don't. I'll have you know Scotland is one of the most modern wee countries in the world. Alright, I complain all the time about the terrible Wi-Fi speeds that we have and our pretty much non-existent 3G, 4G, 5G coverage. It is really, really bad, guys, but we're a modern country. We've always led the way in things like science, biology, we've led the way in innovation, and even nowadays we are actually one of the world leaders in renewable energy. Going to be big in the future, right? Scotland is a modern, progressive country. We're not backwards, we're not slow. We might be late to the party sometimes, but when we get there, you know, it's all good. Number 7, right? And we're getting into the real grit of this now, okay? The things that really wind us up. Number 7, when someone comes to us and speaks to us, right? Maybe even online, and says things in Gaelic to us. Now, I don't want to be offensive to anyone, right? Because there are people in Scotland who speak Gaelic. And in fact, most of the street signs around Scotland nowadays are in Gaelic as well as English, right? But let me tell you this, a very minute percentage of the Scottish population can tell you more than one word in Gaelic. For me, it's Slanjava. I think it's something like 1 or 2% only of the Scottish population who can speak Gaelic, right? It's a very, very small amount. And I mean no disrespect to those guys, okay? And in fact, I admire them and I really encourage more young people to learn it if they can go to a school that teaches it or whatever. But certainly my generation, we were all left out in Gaelic because it was non-existent in our schools. And I think the thing is, a lot of people, and especially in some regions in Canada and even the United States of America, can speak Gaelic. So they come here to Scotland and Edinburgh and they start speaking Gaelic to us, and we're just like looking around thinking, what? Because the vast majority of people here, unfortunately, but it's true, we don't know words of Gaelic, hardly any. 8, this one I get personally infuriated with, right? Because I spend a lot of time, especially in London. So I'll be in a shop and I'm about to pay something at the cashiers, right? With my lovely sterling note, £5 sterling note I've got there, right? And then they'll just look at it for a second, right? They'll be like, pick it up, they'll put it in the light, and go like that. And then they'll say to me, I'm just off to speak to my manager. And when they say that, I know what's coming, alright? And I welcome it, right? And so does most Scottish people. We revel in this. Go get your manager, sunshine. I'll have a word with him. Because this, I'll have you know, is legal tender. Essentially what the story is, right? All over the United Kingdom we use pounds sterling, right? Including here in Scotland, but our notes just look a bit different. They're issued by Scottish banks and they have Scottish artwork. This one here, for example, has got the blue picture of the Forth Bridge on it, for example, and that confuses a lot of people, especially down south, because they've never seen it before. But I can assure you, it's pound sterling. There's a lot of people actually who are travelling to Scotland for the first time from different places in the world and have asked me, like, what currency should I be getting out? It's just pounds. Pounds the same as you would get in London. But anyway, anybody down south of the border in London who tries to refuse Scottish notes, you tell them, you wag your finger in their face and say it's legal tender. If they don't accept that money, you will sue them. Don't let anyone tell you Scottish money is different because it might look different, but it's not. Number 9, I feel like this is something I need to reiterate in my channel. It's something that I have spoken about before, okay? Scotch or Scotchman, Scotchwoman. No, never, ever, 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 all right? Just trust me, no. There are few things in this world that can be called Scotch. The drink is one of them. Scotch whiskey can be Scotch. Scotch tape. Butterscotch. Scotch eggs. Scotch pies, maybe. They can be Scotch. But a person, like me for example, cannot, and under any circumstances, be known as Scotch. And I've actually had it on my channel very recently when some people have said to me, but you said that to us before, Shaun, but then we heard you say Scottish. It sounds like Scotch, but what I'm actually saying is Scottish very fast. And what happens is you take out the I, kind of Scottish, right? It's just a fast way of saying Scottish. But it's not Scotch, all right? We don't say Scotch for people, and we would very much appreciate if you don't call us Scotch. I don't know why, it's just something that really grates in the back of our brain. It's like, oh, did I hear that? Stop it, stop it. That's a nasty word. Number 10, right? This is something that we get a lot and something that I've had a lot. And wow, okay. We've got a reputation around the world. You're Scottish, are you? You like a drink a bit. So here's the thing. I've travelled quite a bit. I was in South America. And I remember my first few days there, when people found out I was Scottish, they were throwing drinks down my throat saying, you can handle this, you'll be able to outdrink all of us because you're from Scotland. And like, I'm trying being polite because I'm in a new country and a new place. I try and like show my friends that, you know what, I can drink with them. But actually, I'm a very poor example of a Scottish person. If that's our stereotype is drinkers, I can't drink, I'm not a big drinker. In fact, I'm a very, very bad drinker. 1 or 2 and I'm out. But we've got this reputation, and whenever we travel around the world, people say to us, well, you're Scottish, you like a drink? Not everybody, let me tell you. And it gets a bit annoying when we hear that time and time again, because it's just not true, all right? And yes, we do produce the best whiskey in the world. We produce some amazing gins now. We produce great beers, right? We are actually a good alcohol producing country, but most of it gets sold abroad. That's not to say there are not quite a lot of drunkards in the streets, because you will see them. There are some people in Scotland who do like a drink. But listen guys, this is all just a bit of fun, what I'm talking about here, right? People like these videos, so I'm going to be doing them occasionally. This video here, it's kind of true what I'm saying, right? These things we don't always necessarily like, but it's very difficult to offend a Scottish person, because essentially all the things I just said, we would say about ourselves, and worse, we're very self-depreciatory here in Scotland. We like to make fun of ourselves and have a laugh. And we'll even welcome you into the joke so you can help make fun of us. We'll quite enjoy it. You can say what you want. If you're coming to Scotland, and a lot of you guys are coming to Scotland over the next month, over the next 6 months, you just come here, have a good time. Don't worry about what you're going to say. You're not going to embarrass anyone. You're not going to upset anyone, really. Unless you call us Scotch, right? That's only number 1 thing that's off the table. Whatever I just said there, yes, don't call us Scotch. Listen, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast. Here's to the next 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, all you guys, for joining in. And until the next adventure, I hope you have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are in the world. Take care.